Alright, what's up guys? This is Joseph Quick here, and today I'm doing a video of my top 4 feeder insects. And all 4 of those, I have 3 out of 4 of them. And the way I'm going to be doing this is number 5 is on the low end, and number 1 is the best. So starting off with number 1 is crickets, and I actually just fed them off. So that's number 5. And the reason they're so low is because they are quick to die, and in my experience, they're even hard to breed. And not all my reptiles don't necessarily always like roaches, but they are readily available. You can go to anywhere. So in my area, I have Dogpatch. Now, if you're listening and you know where Dogpatch is, out here in Texarkana, giving you guys a shout out. And PetSmart, Petco, and pretty much every other reptile store that there is. You can go out and get them. So, it's number 5. Number 4 is mealworms. Mealworms / superworms. I have those. Okay, so this is my mealworm / superworm breeding tote. And I do recommend these guys a lot more than I do crickets, because crickets are more dirty insects. But number 1 will probably surprise you a little bit. But these guys, I recommend these guys a lot more, as these guys actually have a lot more nutrients that's in them. And they're better eaters than roaches. But also, too, roaches can be cannibalistic. That's another reason why they're number 5. So, number 4, like I said, is mealworms, if I can ever get one. Mealworms / superworms. And this is one of them. It's one of them I have. And these guys here, they're a better option. But still, in my book, they're not necessarily the best, because they are so high in chitin. And what chitin is what our fingernails are made out of, and what a lot of feeder insects, their exoskeleton is made out of. And also, too, these guys, if you do put them in an enclosure, like I've done with my Savannah Monitor Athena, I put them in there, put them in a little cup, thinking that they wouldn't get out. They did. But at the same time, too, here's a good part about them. I've got like 5 mature adults in her enclosure. They're constantly breeding. So every time I look in there, I see more and more and more superworms in there. But these guys, they are relatively easy to breed. Some people say you got to have 3-tier system. I've actually had better luck just keeping them as they are. Just keeping them in a bin like this. Keeping them in a bin like this. Or even like a little critter tote, whatever you decide to put them in. I've had better luck just keeping them all together rather than separating them throughout their 3 stages of life. If that makes sense. Okay, so mealworms / superworms, number 4. Number 3. Number 3 are waxworms. Let's see if I can't position you guys. I don't know if you guys can see all that. I don't know if y'all got a good glimpse of that. I'll definitely take a look at that and afterwards. But these are waxworms. Waxworms are number 3, because all of my animals, they love waxworms. Waxworms are so easy to breed. They're not as easy. 4. No, Crickets were number 4. Mealworms slash superworms were 3. Waxworms are number 2. Sorry about getting those numbers mixed up. But to me, these guys here are a lot easier to breed than even superworms and mealworms, because then you don't have to worry about the large adults, and they can give off a relatively bad smell, and you can't really gut load those guys. But now these guys here, these guys are perfect for like little treats and everything else. Now my reptiles, they all love waxworms. They love them so much that they know whenever I bring this out and I open it up and I keep it in my hand, that they're gonna get some, because they love these guys. I give these guys as treats though. These aren't necessarily a good staple diet, but they are good, especially for moisture content. They have relatively high moisture content, and they're soft bodied, so more of like your normal worms and everything else. So to me, those guys are really good, especially if an animal that not stay hydrated. All right, so now number 1. Now these guys are, to me, are my number 1 feeder insect, and they are extremely easy to breed. All you have to have is a heating pad. So let me see if I can't find one. So for me, what number 1 is, what the number 1 feeder insect for your reptiles. Here we go. Ooh, got some. Are dubia roaches. A lot of people might disagree and start commenting on this video, going that those are filthy and everything else. They can, yes. I understand where you're coming from with them being filthy, as they're roaches. However, though, they're easy to breed, and also too, I use these guys as my staple insect diet. And my Savannah monitor, she loves these. She loves dubia roaches. She loves the adults in particular. And she's about a foot long, and she will eat an entire adult dubia roach. And by that point, she is full. And so I don't feed her again for 2 days. But as she gets larger and larger and larger, I'll start feeding her one adult. But these guys here are an excellent feeder insect, because you can easily breed them. I'll make another video. I'll make a video on how I set up my dubia roaches to breed. But they're easy to breed. They're easy to gut load, because they'll eat anything you put in there. And you can't lose track of them. And you can feed them to any size reptile you have. Got a little baby leopard gecko, baby dubia roaches. You got a full-grown bearded dragon, the adults. You got an adult bearded leopard gecko. Give them a subadult. But these guys here, they are a little expensive. These guys are the most expensive choice on this list, but to me they're still number 1, especially whenever you have a large reptile. Even just one large reptile, or one reptile that will get large, I highly recommend these guys. Now yes, they are high in chitin, but they're not as high as the mealworms slash superworms, but they're higher than crickets. And like I said, crickets are dirty. Crickets, I don't recommend them unless that's all you got. But these guys are really good, and I purchased mine offline. And like I said earlier, these guys are easy to breed, easy to gut load. And one thing that a lot of people think is that because they're a roach, they're going to breed like roaches. They don't. They breed. So let's say one adult breed, regular roach, breeds 10 roaches. Breeds 10, gives off 10 babies. These guys breed 7. So there's that. And also too, you can keep them in this and they can't get out. And they can't eat through this. Whereas if you put crickets, they can jump. Waxworms, they can flutter out once they're adults. Mealworms, superworms, they burrow and you lose them forever. And that is one thing that is bad about these dubia roaches. But in my book, that's one thing I'm willing to pay the price for. But also too, I don't have to worry about that, as all my reptiles will eat from tongs. So in my book, these are the best feeder insect you can ever get. And that's my list of top 4 feeder insects. Once again, number 4 was crickets. Number 2 was mealworms / superworms, because they're high in chitin. Well, alright, so number 4, crickets, 30, and they're super small. Number 3 is mealworms / superworms, because they're high in chitin and they're not necessarily a full belly. Number 2 are waxworms, because they're mainly for treats and animals that are not staying hydrated. And number 1, dubia roaches, easy gut load and extremely easy to breed. So there's that video, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Continue having a great day. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. I don't care if you guys subscribe, comment, whatever. All I appreciate is the thumbs up to let me know if you guys continue to like these videos, because the more and more videos that you guys like, the more and more videos I'll produce. See you guys. Have a great day.